global agriculture is global agriculture, and so we really are happy to work wherever. I mean, we're happy to engage with partners anywhere in the world. UT's been involved with Guatemala for a number of years. Part of that's because of the Milam family here in Tennessee. They have a long-term relationship with a medical clinic in Guatemala, and so they wanted UT students to have the same kind of transformative experiences that they did. But we also have internship programs. So the Milam, we call the Milam Scholars Program, and so that funding helps get students who want a little bit more than just to study abroad. They want to be there, they want to be working, they want to stay a longer time, get much more of kind of a work experience, an internship experience.
And I thought it was very relevant to my major because it's like food, agriculture, natural resource challenges in Guatemala, and since I'm doing natural resource economics, I thought it was very fitting. A lot of it, honestly, hiking up the active volcano was pretty crazy. I had never been that high up before. I had never seen anything like that. Just being able to stand on the volcano and look down at like the lava flow that had only been there for about 6 months was really crazy. And just seeing how different it was going from the mountains down to the coast, just all the differences, like the different plants they grew, like sugar cane down by the coast and like salt down by the coast and a lot more like coffee and stuff up by the mountains. I guess just how versatile their crops are there. The main service project we did was we went to a clinic called Clinica Izel outside Chicacao, and we cleared this garden plot that a group a couple years before us had already cleared, but people started like throwing trash and stuff in there and we couldn't go back to clean it because of COVID. So that was our main service project this year, was just cleaning that garden plot back out so they could get their garden restarted.
So when we got there, it was very littered and like a bunch of trash in it and everything, but we as a group just cleaned it up and made it to where people can grow stuff there again. It was an amazing feeling to be able to help people, help sustain themselves, because a lot of their food is kind of exported out and the nutrients are kind of lost. I really hope that people kind of expand their horizons and see the application of what they're actually studying abroad. I didn't know how really important agriculture was until I stepped out of the country to see that this is primarily what this country does.
It was one of the best experiences of my life, I would say. Just getting to see a new place and new plants and just cool little narrow streets and narrow sidewalks and little shops right next to each other along the streets. It was neat to see everything. People zipping around each other on the roads, not quite so much as we do here in the U.S. It was great to see the forest in a different area with a different climate, and it was interesting because there are some trees that are native to both here and Guatemala.
Oh, absolutely. Studying abroad was the best decision I ever got to make. Yeah, it was absolutely a great experience. I've never been to Central America. I am from Puerto Rico, so our culture has similarities and differences. I mean, every morning and almost with every meal we had platanitos maduro, which is like the sweet plantains, and I love plantains, so that was a plus for me to have some similarities, and it wasn't that much of a culture shock for me. And I, unlike other students, got to speak with locals because we understood Spanish. We might have different dialects, but I was able to have conversations with children and adults.
Yes, I've actually been to Guatemala. I think this last time was my 13th time in Guatemala, and actually the reason I'm in biosystem engineering is from my experiences in Guatemala. I decided that I wanted to go into water treatment systems. Yes, actually on this trip we looked at one of the main lakes called Lake Atitlan. It sits down in a volcanic caldera, and it has no outlet except for evaporation, so any agricultural runoff goes into the lake and it causes the lake to become polluted with different fertilizers or just different agricultural runoffs, and most people around the area get their water from the lake, so polluted water and unclean drinking water is a big problem in Guatemala and it causes all kinds of sickness. So it's a big need in Guatemala to get either clean water or take the dirty water they already have and be able to filter it out and make it clean for drinking.
Really, it changes people's opportunities, and really I think it's a great way to, what we say, taking what you're learning in the classroom and applying it into the real world. right? And that's really where I think some of the magic of learning happens, because they did hear about it in class and they maybe saw some things on some short trips. But now you get to apply it, you get to implement that and work alongside other people who are doing this. And so to me that really reinforces what they've already learned.